Marcus thought his biggest worry was getting his daughter home safely through the blizzard. Then he saw her, a pregnant teenager stumbling through the snow, barely alive. His next decision would either save 3 lives or destroy everything he'd built as a single father. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Marcus wiped the frost from his truck's windshield, squinting through the thick snow that was falling like white curtains across the empty highway. His 8-year-old daughter Emma sat in the passenger seat, her small hands pressed against the window. "Daddy, I can't see anything," Emma whispered, her breath fogging the glass. "I know, sweetheart. We're almost home," Marcus said, though he wasn't entirely sure. The snowstorm had hit faster than the weather forecast predicted, turning their trip back from Emma's dance recital into a dangerous journey through the mountain roads. Marcus had been a single father for 3 years now, ever since his wife Sarah died in a car accident. Every day was a struggle, balancing his construction job with raising Emma alone. But seeing her smile on stage tonight, spinning in her pink tutu, had made every sacrifice worth it. The truck's headlights barely cut through the blizzard as Marcus drove slowly, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. Then, through the swirling snow, he saw something that made his heart stop. A figure was stumbling along the side of the road, barely visible in the storm. As they got closer, Marcus could see it was a young girl, maybe 16 or 17, wearing nothing but a thin jacket. She was holding her stomach, and even through the snow, Marcus could see she was pregnant. "Daddy, there's someone out there." Emma pressed her face against the window. Marcus didn't hesitate. He pulled over, hazard lights flashing, and jumped out into the freezing wind. Hey, are you okay?" Marcus called out, running toward the girl. She looked up at him with frightened eyes, her lips blue from the cold. She was shivering so violently she could barely stand. "Please," she whispered, "I need help. My baby." Without another word, Marcus scooped her up in his arms and carried her to the truck. Emma had already moved to the back seat, making room in the front. "It's okay, you're safe now," Marcus said as he helped the girl into the passenger seat. He cranked up the heat and grabbed a blanket from the back. "What's your name?" Emma asked gently from behind them. "Luna," the girl whispered, wrapping the blanket around herself. "Luna Rodriguez." Marcus could see she was very pregnant, probably 7 or 8 months along. Her dark hair was wet from the snow, and her hands were shaking uncontrollably. "Luna, I'm Marcus and this is my daughter Emma. We're going to get you somewhere warm, okay?" Luna nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you. I thought I was going to die out there." As Marcus drove carefully through the storm, Luna's story began to unfold. She was 17, had been living in a group home, and had run away when they told her she'd have to give up her baby. She'd been walking for hours, trying to reach the next town where she hoped to find shelter. "I just want to keep my baby," she sobbed. "Everyone says I'm too young, that I can't do it. But this baby is all I have." Emma reached forward and gently touched Luna's shoulder. "My daddy takes care of me all by himself. He's really good at it." Marcus felt his throat tighten. His own struggles seemed small compared to what this brave girl was facing. Marcus made a decision that would change all their lives. Instead of taking Luna to the hospital and leaving her there, he brought her to their small apartment above the garage where he kept his construction equipment. "You can stay here tonight," he said, helping Luna up the stairs. "Tomorrow we'll figure out what to do." Their apartment was modest but warm. Emma immediately set about making Luna comfortable, bringing her warm clothes and making hot chocolate the way her father had taught her. "Why are you being so nice to me?" Luna asked, watching Marcus prepare the couch with fresh sheets and pillows. Marcus paused, thinking of Sarah, of the night Emma was born, of all the times people had helped him when he felt lost and alone. "Because everyone deserves kindness," he said simply. "And because I know what it's like to be scared about raising a child." That night, as Luna slept on the couch, Marcus lay awake thinking. He'd planned to be angry at the world forever, to focus only on Emma and their small, safe life. But seeing Luna's courage, her determination to protect her unborn child, stirred something in his heart he thought had died with Sarah. Over the next few days as the storm cleared, Luna stayed with them. She helped Emma with her homework, cooked meals with ingredients Marcus brought home, and slowly began to trust that she was truly safe. "Luna, you need to see a doctor," Marcus said one morning over breakfast. "Just to make sure you and the baby are healthy." Luna's face went pale. "I don't have insurance. I don't have any money." "Don't worry about that," Marcus said firmly. "Let me handle it." At the clinic, Dr. Patricia Wells examined Luna carefully. Marcus and Emma waited in the hallway, both nervous. When Luna came out, she was crying, but this time they were tears of relief. "The baby is healthy," she said, placing her hands on her round belly. "Dr. Wells says everything looks perfect." Dr. Wells pulled Marcus aside. "She's about 6 weeks from her due date. She's been through a lot of stress, but she's a strong girl. She's lucky to have found you." "We're the lucky ones," Marcus said, surprising himself with the honesty of those words. As weeks passed, their small apartment transformed. Luna's laughter filled the rooms, and Emma had never been happier. She loved having someone to talk to while Marcus was at work, someone who braided her hair and helped her practice her reading. Marcus found himself looking forward to coming home each evening, to the smell of dinner cooking and the sound of Luna and Emma chatting at the kitchen table. It felt like a family again, though he was careful not to assume too much. One evening, as they sat watching a movie, Luna suddenly grabbed her stomach. "Oh," she gasped, I think the baby's coming." Marcus went into action mode just like he had the night Emma was born. But this time felt different. This time he wasn't just helping his wife, he was helping someone who had become family. The labor was long and difficult. Marcus held Luna's hand in the hospital room while Emma waited with Mrs. Chin, their elderly neighbor who had become like a grandmother to Emma. "I'm scared," Luna whispered during a contraction. "You're the bravest person I know," Marcus said. "You walked through a snowstorm to protect this baby. You can do this." At 3:47 a.m., baby Sophia Rodriguez entered the world with a loud, healthy cry. Luna sobbed with joy as Dr. Wells placed the tiny girl on her chest. "She's perfect," Luna whispered. "She's absolutely perfect." Marcus felt tears streaming down his face as he looked at Luna and baby Sophia. In that moment he realized something had changed in his heart. The walls he'd built after Sarah's death had crumbled, replaced by a love he'd never expected to feel again. 3 months later, as spring melted the last of the winter snow, Marcus made a decision that surprised everyone, including himself. He found Luna in the garden behind their apartment, rocking baby Sophia in the sunshine while Emma played nearby. "Luna," he said, his voice nervous, "I need to ask you something." She looked up at him with those same dark eyes that had been so frightened that snowy night, but now they were filled with peace and happiness. "I know this might sound crazy," Marcus continued, "but these past months with you and Sophia, you've made our family complete. Emma loves you like a mother, I love you like the woman I want to spend my life with." Luna's eyes widened as Marcus got down on one knee. "I'm not asking you to marry me because you need a home, or because Sophia needs a father. I'm asking because I can't imagine my life without you in it. Will you marry me?" Emma stopped playing and ran over, bouncing with excitement. "Say yes, Luna. Say yes." Luna looked at Marcus, at Emma's hopeful face, at baby Sophia sleeping peacefully in her arms. She thought about that terrible night in the snowstorm, how close she'd come to losing everything, and how this man had saved not just her life but her future. "Yes," she whispered, then louder, "Yes. Of course yes." The wedding was small but perfect. Emma was the flower girl, baby Sophia slept peacefully in the front row, and Mrs. Chin cried happy tears as she watched Marcus and Luna exchange vows. "I promise to love and protect your heart the way you protected mine that snowy night," Marcus said in his vows. "I promise to build a beautiful life with you one day at a time," Luna replied. Dr. Wells, who had delivered Sophia and become a family friend, officiated the ceremony. "I've seen many miracles in my career," she said, "but watching love grow from kindness is the most beautiful miracle of all." Luna pushed the swing higher as 5-year-old Sophia squealed with delight. Emma, now 13, sat on the nearby bench doing homework, occasionally looking up to smile at her little sister. Marcus came home from work to find his wife and daughters in the backyard, the late afternoon sun casting golden light on their happy faces. "How was your day?" Luna asked, kissing him hello. "Better now," he said, meaning it completely. Sophia ran to him, wrapping her small arms around his legs. "Daddy Marcus, Emma helped me with my numbers today." "That's great, sweetheart," Marcus said, lifting Sophia into his arms. Emma looked up from her homework. "Dad, I have to write an essay about heroes for school. Can I write about the night you found Luna?" Marcus felt his throat tighten with emotion. "If you want to, Emma. But you know what? Luna was the real hero that night. She walked through a blizzard to protect Sophia." "No," Luna said, taking Marcus's hand, "we all saved each other." One winter evening, exactly 6 years after that fateful snowstorm, Marcus was driving home from Emma's high school graduation when he saw a familiar sight: a young person walking alone in the cold. This time it was a teenage boy, maybe 16, carrying a backpack and looking lost. Marcus pulled over without hesitation. Hey, are you okay? Do you need a ride somewhere? The boy looked up with suspicious eyes, the same way Luna had that night years ago. I'm okay, the boy lied, shivering in his thin jacket. I'm Marcus, he said gently. My family and we understand what it's like to need help. No questions asked, just a warm place to stay for the night if you need it. The boy hesitated, then slowly got into the truck. At home, Luna took one look at the boy and immediately began preparing the guest room they'd added to their house. Emma, now 18 and headed to college in the fall, helped make hot chocolate while Sophia, curious about their new guest, offered him her favorite blanket. Why are you all being so nice to me? The boy asked, just as Luna had years before. Marcus smiled, remembering that snowy night that had changed everything. Because 6 years ago my wife was walking alone in a snowstorm, and I learned that sometimes the greatest blessings come disguised as people who need help. Luna sat down next to the boy, Sophia on her lap. What's your name? Diego, he said quietly. Well, Diego, you're safe here. And tomorrow we'll help you figure out your next step. That night, as Marcus and Luna tucked their daughters into bed, Sophia asked, Daddy, is Diego going to stay with us like Mama did? Marcus looked at Luna and they both smiled. We'll see, sweetheart. Sometimes families grow in unexpected ways. Years later, when people asked Marcus about that snowy night, he would tell them it wasn't just about rescuing Luna. It was about rescuing himself from a life of anger and loneliness, rescuing Emma from growing up without the joy of a complete family, and rescuing his own capacity to love again. Luna would add that sometimes the greatest storms in life aren't made of snow and wind, but of fear and loneliness. And sometimes the greatest miracles aren't dramatic rescues, but simple acts of kindness that ripple outward like waves, touching lives in ways we never expect. Emma, now a social worker helping at-risk youth, would tell people that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice you make every day. A choice to open your door, your heart, and your life to someone who needs it. And Sophia, whenever she heard the story of how her parents met, would smile and say, Mama always tells me that angels come in many forms. Sometimes they come as people who save you from snowstorms. And sometimes they come as people brave enough to walk through snowstorms to protect the ones they love. The little apartment above the garage was long gone, replaced by a warm house filled with laughter, photographs, and the echoes of a love story that began with a simple choice: to stop for someone in need. Because sometimes the most beautiful families aren't born, they're built, one act of kindness at a time.